Okay. We are now recording. Excellent. Okay. Yes. Do we have any more introductions? No? Okay.
I think we're good.
Excellent. So as we go along, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to type them in the chat. One thing to get us started, if you could, in the chat, give us your major, your summer plans. What are you doing this summer? Are you taking classes here in College Station? Are you calling in from an exotic location somewhere? We would love to know where. Are you on an internship? What company? What are you doing? As well as a question or issue or anything like that you would hope to have addressed within the next hour. We will try to get to as many of those as possible. If we need to parking lot anything in the interest of time, we will definitely include our email addresses at the end, and we can follow up with you later this week. Oh, internship at Halliburton. Great. Oh, calling in from Maryland. Excellent.
I know. I want to be in Maryland right now. Maryland. Maryland. I am not
Oh, we
a
got people
geography
joining in all
major.
over.
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Gee
Wow.
Louise. Oh, Texas Instruments is good too. Wow, cool. McDermott, yeah.
We'll definitely be
Dell. I
covering
got
the
some friends
format
at
of the
Dell.
program. Yeah. Conroe. Okay.
Lauderdale. Watch out for the sharks.
What?
All the shark attacks.
What are there
Yeah.
in Fort Lauderdale?
Oh, I don't know. Just in Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Do be careful.
Yes, be careful, Robbie from Fort Lauderdale. Oh my goodness.
The program would affect graduation.
Excellent. Yes,
date,
graduation date.
professionals.
Yeah, graduation date. Application process. Oh, yes, cost. We will talk about all of these things. Application requirements. Excellent. I'm feeling pumped about our slides now. We cover all of everything that y'all have questions about. This is exciting. And I'm so excited to see y'all calling in from all over the country. One plug I would give is get in touch with the A&M club, like get in touch with your A&M alumni in whatever city you're in and expand your network. So wherever your local A&M club is, don't be afraid to reach out and start networking with them. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about this evening? So who are we? What is the engineering MBA program? How is it different from similar to our traditional MBA or full-time MBA? What does the application look like? What do you do if you're on the call and you're not applying this year? Maybe you're going to be applying not for another year or two. So what are the things that you can do between now and when it's time for you to apply to make yourself a strong applicant? The requirements, and we'll make sure and leave time at the end for Q&A. So here's us. Dr. Sarah Yaksh, myself, and Lauren are on the call. Our colleagues Marla and Haley are not on the call, but you would be interacting with them quite a bit if you join our engineering MBA program. And make note of this email address. We all, of course, have our individual email addresses, and I'm happy to share those with you if you have specific questions for any one of us. This MBA programs email is the best catch-all email to get your answers as quickly as possible and to the correct person. So I would say that's the best email for now for any questions that you have. So make a note of that. And Lauren, can you put that in the chat? Excellent. Okay. Well, Lauren, go ahead and take it away with our engineering, or is this me? This is me. This is me. This is me. Lauren and I practiced this earlier and I've already forgotten. So, and Sarah, pipe in as needed. So the engineering MBA is a new program. And when I say new, I mean this is our first pilot cohort. We will have 7 engineering MBA students starting with us next month. Next year, we hope to expand that to around 100. So we hope to have our first big cohort next year. But it is a comprehensive curriculum. We get a lot of questions about how is this different from the Master of Science in Finance, which has been around for a while. Many of you may have friends that are going through the MSF program. So the MBA program is much more generalized. You would take classes in finance, but also in these other areas: accounting, supply chain, strategy, communications, leadership, career development. It is a very well-rounded, generalized business degree that will open up your career options, make you pivotable into a new field. And yeah, just give you that general management and leadership, negotiation, communication, leadership. Like I said, expand career options and accelerate your career path. And that's a big one. I hear from a lot of our full-time MBA students who have 3 and 4 years of work experience usually. Why are you quitting your job? Why do you want to come back and get an MBA? And so many of them say, I've hit a ceiling in my career, or I can't get that next promotion, or I've become pigeonholed. I'm doing this very, very technical thing and I want to become a manager. I want to become a consultant in that field. I can't make that jump without this credential. So what the engineering MBA does is it will allow you to get the MBA before the work experience. So it removes that ceiling. You're not going to run into that hurdle, that ceiling 3 or 4 years from now that some of your peers might. You will have a dedicated MBA career advisor. So a career advisor that is dedicated specifically to engineering MBA students. And it is a 1-year program. So you can think of it like a 4+1. So there's no overlapping. That's another difference from MS Finance. You will complete your engineering degree. You will graduate. You will do all of your engineering stuff, tie a bow on that, and then you will begin your business, the 12 months of the business coursework. So you will completely finish one. There's no prerequisites for the MBA. There's no classes you need to take during your engineer. I've seen y'all's degree plans. They are already packed full. We're not going to add those prerequisites into y'all. So yes, you will completely finish your engineering degree before you begin the MBA. Now, it does begin in July each year, so we do accept August or December grads into the program. You would just have a little bit of a gap. So if you're graduating in December, I would recommend talking to your internship or talking to your employer, maybe finding a spring internship or a spring work experience, something to fill in that 6 or 7 month gap. And so the current cost for our students, our 7 students coming in this year, is $63,000, and that's all in. So that's all tuition and fees for the entire MBA. And this is very, very reasonable when you look at other MBA programs across the country. Many of our competitor MBA programs at places like Rice or other schools in Austin, I shall not name, they can be upwards of 6 figures. So 63,000 all in is very reasonable for an MBA, and all admitted students are automatically considered for scholarships. So chances are you would be offered a scholarship as well. We also have a dedicated financial aid liaison to assist you with any financial aid related questions, and we have her contact info at the end of the presentation. We'll connect you with her. What are the benefits? Like I said, you start immediately after graduation. Most other MBA programs around the country are going to require that work experience. So the average age of our full-time MBA program is 28. And it's difficult. Once you get out and you start earning a salary, it is so difficult to come back, stop that paycheck. Think about how much easier it will be to extend your lease for 12 more months. You stay here in College Station. You're not moving 2 and 3 times back and forth, back and forth. So you just do the 4+1 with the engineering MBA, and you're able to obtain that that MBA career credential without interrupting your career. You're able to get started already having that MBA at a higher salary than your peers with the engineering degree alone. We have an exclusive cohort. So you would belong to a cohort of other engineering MBAs. And it would be a small class size. I say we're going to admit 100, but our plans are to break that up into smaller cohorts. So the plan is not for you to be in a lecture hall with 300 engineering MBA students. We will be breaking it up into smaller sub cohorts and smaller sections. Expand your career opportunities, develop business acumen, all of these things, and gain access to not only you have access to the engineering network. Now you would also have access to that MBA network, the Mays Business School network, which is very, very active. Anything to add to that, Sarah?
Nope, I think you covered it pretty well. So, but I'm happy to entertain if folks have specific questions on anything we've covered so far. Both Lauren and I are monitoring chat.
Okay. Well, Lauren, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Alrighty, so let's dive in a little bit to the application rounds for the 2025 cycle. So take some notes on these upcoming dates. I do want to point out pretty specifically the priority deadline or the priority round. It can be pretty advantageous for a couple of reasons. First, it's really going to show your strong interest to the admissions committee as well as a commitment to the program. Second, if you are applying in that priority round, there's going to be more available spots, which can increase that chance of admission, as well as having greater access to that scholarship funds that Katie mentioned to begin with. So now we can kind of take a little bit of a deeper dive into what that timeline might look like for the priority round. So yes, we have 3 technically different rounds. So priority round, which is going to be from it's going to open this week, so June 15th to July 15th, and that's where you're going to receive your decision by August 1st. The second round, or round 1, will open August 1st, and if you apply by October 15th, you'll receive a decision by November 15th. And then after that, we'll kind of have a rolling deadline. So if you apply after October 15th, you'll receive a decision any time between 3 to 5 weeks, and kind of more of a as space is available for admissions and scholarships. So really focusing on those first 2 rounds if you can.
Absolutely. I would recommend applying by apply within the next month if you can, and you can apply for free. So you can get that application fee waiver, but definitely by October 15th, I would say. Apply by then.
Yes.
The other quick thing that I would just briefly add is that this is for fall 2025 admissions. So if you're looking post fall 2025, because I saw someone a little bit younger, that you can wait, you can jot all this down, but we'll have different deadlines potentially and some other things for the next year. So if you are planning would like to start the MBA program next fall 2025, then go ahead and get that application.
Yes, and in general, you'll be applying the summer before your graduation. So we use words like junior, senior. Some of you may be in your 5th year. That's perfectly fine. But whatever your timeline is for graduation, you would be applying for the MBA program the summer before you graduate. Yes.
Now, I think it's really helpful to kind of visualize what this timeline is going to look like, really for y'all's clarity as well of what we talk about with apps open, deadline, and the decision being made. So taking a closer look at this, so the applications are going to open this Friday. And we're going to go over what we're calling our MBA 2-step and the requirements for that on the next slide. So the deadline for the priority consideration is going to be July 15th. So that is when all your materials need to be submitted by July 15th. During that time, so from July 16th to July 31st, the admissions committee will be reviewing all applications, and they will be making decisions during that time. All of the decisions are going to be released on one date, and that is August 1st for that priority consideration. After you receive your decision, you're going to have about a month, if you're admitted into the program, to submit your deposit to secure your seat. So that's kind of what that timeline looks like. I think it's a really good visual to kind of see and give you some clarity of what that process is going to entail.
So yes, if you are looking at next year, just think about how freeing that will be to begin your fall semester knowing, like, having all of this information already in front of you. And if you've been keeping up with our events as well, we will have a webinar on July 22nd with our career management team to, especially to discuss this with your employers, because we recognize if you get an offer of admission from us, but you also get a full-time job offer from your internship, because you're awesome, so why wouldn't you get both? So if you get both, that can be a difficult decision to make. So we can help you navigate that conversation of talking to your employer about the benefits of the program, negotiating with them to hold your job offer, maybe even adjust your salary for these added credentials you will have. Maybe even some employers would be willing to sponsor some of the cost of your MBA. Those are all negotiation conversations that we are happy to help you navigate one in that kind of that month after you're admitted.
Now our application to MBA two-step process, because we like to get down and boogie. It's very straightforward and really designed to give us a full look of your profile and who you are as a candidate. So it's comprised of literally only two things. It is your official or unofficial transcript, and then your resume. So on your unofficial transcript, just making sure it's the most recent grades of the classes that you've been taking. For your resume, include everything. Include your current internship you're going on, include all your student orgs, leadership that you've done, projects even that you've done. If you have any questions on building your building your resume or what it should look like, you can always utilize the Career Center, or also always utilize our team. We're happy to kind of look over your items before you submit them. After you do that, then you will be required to do a 2-minute Spark Hire video pitch. I don't know if y'all have ever used Spark Hire. It's a really simple tool to use. You will video yourself answering a prompt, really kind of talking about the why behind why you're looking to pursue an MBA. This is such a wonderful opportunity to showcase your personality, communication skills, and enthusiasm versus a written essay. We want to get to know you. We want to feel like we're in the same room as you. If you're a little bit nervous about doing a video pitch, we will be doing another video or virtual information session on July 2nd, all about how to nail that pitch. One thing I did want to point out is that we do not require a GRE or GMAT, letters of recommendation, and no written essays required. What you see on the screen is all that is required. Anything you'd add there, Katie?
No, we tried to make it as simple and straightforward as possible. So the video pitch will probably take, hopefully you all have resumes semi-polished and ready to go. Your transcript, you can pull that from Howdy in 2 minutes. So the application part should take you no more than 5 minutes. Right. The Spark Hire video, put some thought into it. We will have another webinar July 2nd about optimizing and making the best video pitch possible. So make sure you more information about signing up for that, and the RSVP link will be going out. But yeah, I'd say maybe 20 to 30 minutes prepping and practicing and doing your video pitch, 10 minutes to apply. Yeah, we're not hopefully we're not making this too onerous and lengthy of a process.
I would add as well that because it's a shortened process, right? We're not doing all of those other things, that it is important, like Katie said, to put in the time to be prepared for those things. So the things you are turning in, you do want to put your best foot forward, right? So that includes the resume, your transcript, you can't change that. So that is what it is. But for your resume, and you are also welcome to reach out to our career services, your career services at engineering. We actually talked with advisors just last week over in engineering to let them know, hey, one of the best things to do, and one of the questions in chat was, how can I, better my application? Part of that is going to be being very clear on your resume about other things you're involved in. And Katie and Lauren will talk about that in a second. But also really communicating any type of work experience, internship, any of that. You want to communicate that very clearly in that application. So like they mentioned, we'll have a very much more pinpointed, specific ways to improve your application webinar coming up in the next few weeks.
And definitely include, like Lauren said, include it on your resume, whatever it is. I have heard so many silly things where candidates play down their accomplishments. Well, I shouldn't include this because it was freelance, or I can't include that because I was a volunteer, even though I was president of this nonprofit. Please include that. Include all of those things. Your internship, when we say we look for work experience, your internship does not have to be at a huge Fortune 100 company, doing these amazing big money things. It can be at your family business. It can be at a friend's startup. It can be at a nonprofit. We just want you, we want to see that you are getting outside the classroom and getting your hands dirty, kind of out in the real world, whatever that looks like. And it doesn't have to be an engineering leadership. We are happy to see people that are involved in student orgs, fraternities, sororities, dance teams, the anime club, whatever it is. We want you to be a three-dimensional person, and we love seeing that. So what makes a great candidate? And we will be talking more about this in our next webinar on Tuesday. So I hope you've signed up for that. We will go into more detail and show you examples of resumes and things like that that we look for. We prefer a strong GPA, 3.0 preferred, but you notice I say preferred and not required because we give a holistic review. So what does holistic mean? We're looking at all of these things lumped together. We're not going to have a strict cutoff. We're going to look at you as a complete total candidate. So yes, the person with the the person with the 2.8, 2.9 GPA, but who has had 2 or 3 good internships, lots of leadership, and also how are your grades spread across your transcript? If your first semester, freshman year, was a little bit rocky, we've all been there. It is okay. So that's why I say we look at GPA. We're also going to look at GPA in your last 30 and 60 hours. So a few lower grades your freshman year are not going to completely tank your candidacy by any means whatsoever. So we will be looking at that overall GPA, but that's why we ask for the transcript and not just, hey, what's your GPA? We want to look at the story each semester and see what's going on there. 1 to 2 summer internships, co-ops, research experiences. Again, we don't have a particular job title or caliber of company in order for it to count as an internship. Extracurricular involvement, leadership. This can be off campus. It can be with a nonprofit in the community. It can be through your church. It does not have to be Texas A&M student orgs. So it can be, we take a wide swath, a wide definition of what leadership means. And as Lauren was talking about in the video pitch, we are going to want to see a good why, a positive and clear motivation. So yes, be thinking about that. Be thinking about why you want an MBA. Do some informational interviews, maybe talk to a few alumni, whether they're from our program or have their MBAs from elsewhere. Talk to some MBAs and start asking them what they benefited from in their program, what types of careers they're doing now, because your motivation and your career goals will be 2 important things we look for in that video pitch.
And I would just tack on there quickly that it is okay that your why is, well, I want to increase my odds for success in a job, or I want to make more money eventually. Like that is absolutely a relevant why. What I would say is just dig a little bit deeper so that in that pitch, you're very clear, why is it important for you to make more money, right? Is it because you want to go buy a Ferrari? Okay, maybe we don't say that right away, right? But maybe we say, I want to provide my family with a good lifestyle, right? So I would just say, dig that little bit deeper. It's totally fine to say, no, I want to do it right after graduation because that timing is best for me, etc. So happy to have those conversations too. All of us, our whole team, even the ones not on the call today, we're definitely available if you want to chat with us before you turn in those videos. So we're here to help you every step of the way.
Yes. Staying for one more football season may not be what you want to front load in your why. Well, I want to live in College Station one more year. I want to, like Sarah said, go deeper into that. And I will tell
Yeah,
you,
because even though that's what I wanted to
yeah,
do, where I wanted to work, I didn't tell them that when I interviewed, right? We don't say those things.
yeah. And you know what? If that's your motivation, there are less rigorous. We will talk about curriculum
Oh, yeah.
in a little bit.
hmm
There are less rigorous master's programs at A&M that will allow you to stay here for another football season. Yes, if that is what you're after. Let me see. So yes, if you are if you're not graduating this year and you're looking forward to maybe 2026, 2027, continue building your GPA. Class by class, semester by semester. Don't get ahead of yourself. Meet with your academic advisor periodically. Don't be afraid to retake a class. Don't be afraid to Q drop. We're not looking for a perfect transcript by any means. And look for those leadership opportunities, whether it's informal. Hey, I was leader on this team for this class project. I was leader of my capstone team, or an official kind of titled position through a student org, volunteering, part-time work, anything like that. Just kind of seek those out, any opportunity you can. Secure a summer internship. For most of you, this would be between your junior and senior year, but some of you may even be finding internships as freshmen or sophomores. I recommend you work with your Career Center advisor. The Career Center has excellent advisors and networking with employers who want to hire our students. Similar to that, start thinking about post-MBA career paths. Do some informational interviews with people in your network. Start talking to people that at your current internship, if you're on an internship, or just stalking people on LinkedIn. look and find people that have an undergraduate degree in engineering plus an MBA. What job titles do they have? Where are they working right now? What types of industries are they in? Because we do talk to a lot of people who say, you know, I'm not sure what I want to do. I know what I don't want to do. I know I don't want to do this very, technical engineering related role. I want to do something more in management, but I don't know what else is out there. I've never taken a business class. So looking around LinkedIn, even looking on Indeed, type in, engineering and MBA on Indeed and see what job opportunities pop up and read about them and see which ones sound good. Just do some of that general research. If there's one thing engineers are good at, y'all are good at having 50 tabs open and doing some research and going down an internet rabbit hole. And like I said, stay three-dimensional, especially for my freshmen and sophomores on the call. Don't resist the urge to let your entire identity be wrapped up in your major, and you only join clubs in that major, and you only talk to people in that major. Get some hobbies, go out, do some new things. Some of our most memorable, the people that I can remember by name from admissions committees are the people with those unexpected hobbies. We've had so many interesting people come through our MBA class. We had a sword fighter that was like a theater arts major who had do you remember him, Sarah? He did sword fighting.
Yeah, somebody did sword fighting. There was a bread baker, a chicken connoisseur,
Yes.
like a sommelier for wine, but for
Mhm.
chicken.
Yep.
So it does exist. There's like a license looking card for it too.
Yes.
I learned a
So
lot.
yeah. So if you are an aerospace engineer, but you also have your own crocheting and knitting YouTube channel, we want to know that, and we want to follow you and see all about that as you crochet, Atlas rockets and things like that.
It's impressive.
Here's Joanne is our financial aid liaison. So one of the perks of being an MBA student is, aside from the wonderful polo shirts that we will get for you, is that you have your dedicated financial aid person. So you're not waiting on hold to try to get through to financial aid on main campus. you can go straight to Joanne. She has office hours every Tuesday. You can email her. You can also, if that Tuesday office hours doesn't work for you, you can schedule a one-on-one with her to discuss basically anything with a dollar sign, anything about the FAFSA, paying for the program, loans. If any of you will be on, maybe if your parents have military benefits and you have questions about using military benefits, Joanne is going to be your go-to person. So make note of her information if you have questions about that. And upcoming events. So on Tuesday, we will be talking about how to be a competitive applicant. So we will be digging deeper into the resume, the transcript, kind of what we look for, how to be the most competitive applicant possible. On July 2nd, our career management staff will be discussing things you can do for a great video pitch, how to plan your video pitch, what to make sure to include, what not to do, mistakes we've seen people make in the past. And then on July 22nd, that's that really important, even if you're not applying, even if you, for whatever reason, won't be applying until September or October, by that October 15th deadline, attend the July 22nd event, because that will help you go into the September career fairs, ready to have those conversations with potential employers about negotiating. Because yeah, I have no doubt that a handful of people in our program will be getting their MBA partly paid for by their employer. I have no doubt that's going to happen, because they are wheeling and dealing. And then that's it. I'm going to leave this up there so y'all can put that on your
And I'm
calendar.
gonna start,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna start there, Katie, because I think we have a little bit of the curse of knowledge, right? Or I'm making an assumption that everybody knows what a pitch is, right? Or what a video pitch is. And so in the world of business, often students, whether you're starting your own business or not, you essentially have to pitch yourself to employers and to others in that interview process, in networking and different things like that. So this video pitch is really your first kind of take at pitching yourself to our program. And so you will, in the program, work very closely with our Career Center staff in order to really clarify and round out and just kind of imagine stretching and deepening what that pitch is to keep it very on point, but extremely impactful. So that is something to keep in mind with that video pitch. I also am going to go ahead and touch on a couple of questions that were in chat at the beginning, and then some that are right now. So give me 1 second to write this down. I want to make sure I hit all of these. Chris, these sessions will be recorded, or we're not like pre-recording them or anything. So we really encourage you to attend. But yes, if you've got some kind of major thing that you're going to miss, work, that's important. You should definitely work. And yeah, we can work with you. If we don't record for some of these, then we will be happy to get with you after and relay that information even individually. Happy to do that as well. Good question. I'm going to work my way backwards because I see another one pop in chat before I write it down. It is the credential for it reads Master of Business Administration from Texas A&M University. So it does not say Engineering MBA. Now, can you put that on your resume? You can. It's okay to call that the program. How we differentiate our programs, we have a full-time MBA program, we have an executive MBA program, an online MBA program, which is actually Flex Online, so FO MBA, and then a professional MBA. So we call them different programs, but all of those different MBA programs all have the exact same degree from Texas A&M that says Master of Business Administration. So it is said exact same way, reads the same way, will be perceived the same way, essentially. How long should video pitch be? It's 2 minutes. I think we've got it set at right now, Katie, right? Yep. 2 minutes. So that, and I've got this question once or twice directly, but if you don't get in priority round, then essentially you're not reapplying within that year. So you may get, there's a couple different things that can happen when you apply at any point, right? You can be admitted immediately or when we release those decisions, right? And so then, okay, you're in, move forward. You may be waitlisted. And so it may be, hey, we're looking at the class holistically. We're going to put you on the wait list and we'll get you a decision, but it may be a little bit longer. And then it could be a denial. And so then that, if you are denied for that year, and Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, then potentially they could reapply another year. But at that point, we would probably shift you to our full-time MBA program because it wouldn't be coming straight out of engineering to this degree. And so then you'd have a year off. We would expect some work experience at that point. So it would shift.
Yes. And we also have the option, we may have some students that are not a fit for the MBA program, but we may be referring to other specialty master's programs. So we have a Master of Science in Business, Master of Science in HR, Master of Science in Marketing. So depending on your career goals, depending on all of the aspects of your application, we may be switching your application over. We would let you know that, of course. You would you would hear from us before you heard from them. We would only switch you over with your consent to do that.
And that's honestly,
that's
folks, what's most important is we want to find the best fit for you. So whether that is with our program or not, we want to help you meet your educational goals. And again, if that's this engineering program, great. But if we've got something else on the docket at Mays, we would love to get you in there too. So I say that one of the earlier questions was, is there an online option for this degree? This degree is only in person. So it is a full-time, in-person, in 1 year degree. We do have that Flex Online MBA. Now that is a 2-year program and it is solely online. There is once per week, I believe they have a synchronous session, but we're happy if you have questions about that Flex Online program, you can still email us. We're happy to connect you to that group. I will say that they're pretty slim for admissions for next year. They've already kind of reached some of their cutoff and have a wait list going. So this program is not online though. So I wanted to clarify that. A couple other things I'm seeing, is an MBA different from the engineering management degree from the engineering school? I will be honest with you, I do not know of that program. So let me just tell you what my presumption is based on reading that and having worked in higher ed and worked in graduate programs for quite a while. Is my understanding would be, because that's at the engineering school and it literally says engineering, I'm reading my other screen, engineering management degree, that's going to focus on how to manage engineers, how to manage within the realm of engineering, right? And it could have some business pieces in there, but what I can tell you about our degree specifically is that it is very holistic. It is a general business degree, which is why it's Masters of Business Administration, not Master of Finance or Masters of Accounting or Master of Supply Chain, right? It's a generalist degree that is intended to be a management focused type of degree. So it's giving you general business knowledge so that you could be a manager or oversee any of those different areas of business. So my take would be that this one, the other degree that you mentioned, is going to focus a little bit more on just within the world of engineering or management over a specific type of engineering or things like that, right? Whereas we're going to have a heavier business focus and a more generalized business focus as well. Engineering towards the experience required to get a PE license. Ooh, I'm gonna have to write that one down, ladies.
Yeah, I don't think it is, since I'm not familiar with PE license requirements. I don't think so, because none of the coursework you do for us will be engineering coursework. It is 100% business coursework.
That's a good question too, because
yeah.
someone else asked that too. So the courses, I'll just really list, and we're going to go through these in some of the upcoming webinars too in a little bit more detail. But within the first semester, you're talking about taking finance, accounting, business analytics, which is essentially a statistics-based class, but business analytics. And then we've also got marketing management. We've got supply chain operations. You're taking a career class overlaid over that. You'll take individual leadership development. And then you will also take economics. And I think I got them all. So that sounds scary. And that's why it says 17 hours is because the other piece that we do is you're in 8-week kind of terms or blocks, if you think about it that way. So you take 3 classes. We start mid-July, early August. You take 3 classes. You are done with 3 classes by October. You start the next 3, you are done with those 3 classes by December when everyone gets out of school for December. So we start a little early, but we end on time with the university. And then you've got 1 or 2 courses that are over those entire 15 weeks, like a normal semester. But the intensity is because you get 3 classes done in 8 weeks, you get another 3 done the next 8 weeks. So it is hard and fast for sure.
We have a question about business.
Yeah.
A business minor could definitely help give you an edge. The material then you see in the MBA wouldn't be new. A business minor could help you with some of that career exploration piece to test business and see if you like it. But no, since the business minor classes you would take are at an undergraduate level, they would not transfer in. Is that correct, Sarah?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we had another question really early too about, are there classes, Cameron had asked, are there classes in undergrad that, I can be taking to help with this? None of the classes will transfer over because they keep them separate for the both degrees, right? The undergrad only counts for undergrad, grad for grad. So we don't take in any transfer credits that way. So the only thing that it potentially helps with is what Dr. Stober was saying is if you want to go ahead and start exploring some of that, right? Take a finance class or take a management class just to start kind of looking around, seeing if you're interested in some of that stuff. Like, absolutely, that's great to have on your resume, great to have some exploration and some just experience with that business piece, but it is not required. And there's no magic classes that you can take that are automatically like bump you up. So we're not requiring you to have any of those business undergrad classes. You can come in with nothing. We do a ton of prep over the summer in order to get everyone up to speed on the academic side of the house for the business pieces. So thanks for knocking that out. That was one other question. Course schedule, I kind of briefly talked about that, but if there are more questions, happy to answer. And then the other one we had really early on was job prospects as well. So, and we'll have that with the career session coming up pretty soon here too. But the higher earning potential, so I'm presuming that you mean what specifically am I going to, get a job in? And so a lot of them we've had already, some of the major players in Houston, I'm thinking of like, ConocoPhillips and some other ones that say, oh man, it'd be great to have an engineer who has an MBA and come in. And so then they can essentially start you as a manager over some of those other areas at a slightly higher level at the MBA level instead of at the undergrad where it's really into the nitty gritty of the operation pieces, right, of that particular engineering function. So what we see, honestly, and we're exploring with employers, we're working on setting up different relationships, right, developing pipelines with different employers to say, it could be that, yeah, you go into oil and gas, but that's not just it, right? It could be that you go work at Dell and do something totally different. And I'm saying working at Dell and not even being a computer engineer. I'm saying like there can be a variety of things that could apply. So I don't have a specific answer because it can be very nuanced, but we're happy to dive into that more in some of the upcoming sessions as well. Weekly academic schedules look like, are they blocked together or can they be, I
kind of
do
answered
not
it like
know about spread out, but yeah.
It's going to be more, we're not planning evening and weekend classes.
Correct.
But your evening and
At this
weekends are
time,
not
now I will,
free.
yeah, your evenings aren't free, yeah.
This
So
is your full-time job.
essentially, it is. Essentially you take right now or in this fall class, and things may change for y'all coming in fall 2025 because of space availability. We're changing buildings. We're doing some stuff over at Mays. So what I will tell you is right now what the schedule is, and then tell you potentially what it could look like. So right now our students take class in the mornings primarily. 8:30 to 10:30, they take one class, and then 10:45 to 12:45, they take a second class. Then they technically don't have class the rest of the day, but they have help sessions, which are study sessions with those professors from the morning or professors from the other classes, right? And so maybe they took accounting and finance on Monday morning. And so some go to accounting, the other ones go to finance. Some would start in finance and then flip to accounting. So that's how we kind of run it, where we can get two cohorts of students at the same time. Now that's Monday. Tuesday, you may go to business analytics and your career class. And then Wednesday, you're back to finance and accounting. And then Thursday, right? So usually 2, maybe 3 times max a week. So they're 2-hour sessions right now, just how our class schedule falls. And they do tend to be in the mornings because, again, afternoons help sessions, career sessions, some things that are required for career, additional workshops or sessions for leadership. We've got company treks we go on, so it's really filled with a lot of other stuff. And if we're not filling it, then it's you working in your teams to do the homework from those classes from the morning, right? So it really does fill up your schedule. I will say that. So it's like having a full-time job. It is more than 8 to 5. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It is a lot of work. But you're getting a full degree in 1 year. And so it is going to be tough. But we're also very confident, given y'all's background and what you've experienced or will experience in engineering, that you'll be ready for it and be able to step up to the plate.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that. We were like, because we're not giving you half of an MBA. We're taking a 2-year degree and crunching it into 1 year. And we were like, is this going to be too much? And then we saw somebody's sophomore schedule and we were like, no, they can handle this. They got it. And we have had other people. So even though the engineering MBA program is new, we have done a 1-year MBA for some of our dual degrees. So MD MBA, JD MBA. We have had some people have a 1-year option and then go on to professional school. So it is absolutely doable.
Other questions? I hope I've been catching and answering these.
I'm excited with how eager everyone is. They're wanting to start their business classes right now.
I know. Yeah, that's great.
That is.
Well, we won't take more of your time. We will stick around, but I know, guys, it's summertime, and if you've got an internship and you've worked all day, or even if you don't, like it's 7:49. You can go do some fun things or just chill. So we'll stay on the call if you have any questions. But appreciate y'all. Anything else you would tell them, Katie or Lauren?
I'll be following up with everyone on the call. I'll follow up with y'all tomorrow with the slides and a link to the recording. And definitely I'll also be sending out an email. My goal is to have the link for the priority application out Thursday afternoon. Exciting. So keep an eye out on your email for that.
All right. And then folks, if you want to drop anything in chat, or if you want to unmute and ask a question in person too, you are welcome to do that at this time.
Hi, my name is Magna. I had a quick question regarding like how many people you'll accept. So do you have like an acceptance rate as such, or like how does that work on y'all's end? I just wanted to ask real quick.
Ladies, I'll give it to one of y'all if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a specific percentage. We're really about quality, so that's why Dr. Yogsh pointed out our cohort is likely to be between 80 and 100. Our goal is around 100, but we may have 90, we may have 115. We don't have a set number that we are kind of as a minimum or capping the class. We're going to let the quality of applications that we receive decide the number for us. So yes, we in general, from the I can point out from the 7 that are in our pilot program, we had around trying to think of how many we admitted. It was for a smaller group. We have seen a higher percentage of people accept our offer than in our full-time class. So our engineering MBAs are more gung-ho about accepting their offer. But really it's about your credentials. So I would say if you're competing against yourself, not the person next to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
no,
And there's
nobody
no
on this call is
quotas.
competing. Yeah, nobody on this call is
Yeah.
competing with the person, and we're not a cutthroat MBA program. People are not elbowing each other out of the way for the grades, you know, the professor grading on the curve or anything like that. It is, we are, our MBA students are competitive for each other and not against each other. So there is a real sense of camaraderie in the cohort, and it's not cutthroat at all. Is there a max capacity?
Technically,
We have physical
technically
number
for
of
1 year,
chairs in the classroom.
that it's that. So technically 96 is the number that I have right now. Now we're still working on rooms and things for next fall. Cause again, we'll have opened our new building midway through this coming year. But of the classrooms that we technically own and operate, 96 is the biggest one. So to fit you all in one room, it would be 96, but I would also beg to say that, if we go over that, somehow there will magically be some rooms available because we are very much supported by the dean's office, and it's a college initiative as well. And we've worked really well with engineering. And so I'm sure that we would find a way if it hits over 96. So deposit on and staffing, we are increasing staffing to your point. Thank you for caring. We are,
Yes.
we are planning to get some more folks in there to help handle everybody by next year. Deposit
And
on August 30th.
Yes, $2,000, and it goes directly towards your tuition. The resumes and the internships. Yes, so I will tell you, I don't know that any of the people on the admissions committee have degrees in engineering. So the less jargony, unjargon your resume for us, please, to focus on leadership, more so than jargon and industry acronyms.
Numbers are universal though. So
yes,
you can still use those.
yeah,
Right? Give us
percent,
some
you know, if you
metric for
increase something by
pieces. Yeah.
20%, yeah, you led a team of 5, you saved the company however many thousands of dollars. That's all great. We can read that.
Yeah, and then I had another quick question, sorry. So I am actually a technology management major, and that technically is not an engineering major, but it comes under the College of Engineering, right? So I think I emailed one of y'all about this. So would that still like qualify me to apply for this? I think they said yes, but I just wanted to make sure one more time before I actually jump into the process.
We have a list. I don't have it pulled up, but it needs to be a Bachelor of Science within the College of Engineering.
Yes, technology management, it is a Bachelor of Science, yes.
Okay.
Then it should be, we can double check the list again if you email one of us
Yeah.
the next. Yeah, because I do, before you get in the process, I definitely want to check for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because basically like what it is like it's not like an engineering degree per se. It's almost like a business and engineering degree. It's like a hybrid type of situation. And technically it was under the College of like Human Development, I'm pretty sure, or like the HR school. But then they just recently, like a year ago or 2 years ago, they moved it into the College of Engineering, but it's not an engineering degree technically. So yeah, so I just wanted to make sure one more time.
Yeah, no, let's check on that. I would say email any of the 3 of us, and we will answer you tomorrow and figure it out.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. My name's
Yeah.
Nicholas, and I wanted to hear a little bit about, I guess, the gap. Y'all said that you start in July, but could you elaborate on that gap between like graduation and the start of the program? And, would I have time to like do an internship? Even, I understand it'd have to be a shortened one type of thing, right?
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You absolutely can go and get another internship. And if you've already got that secured and you put that on your resume, right, that is going to help you get entry, because if you've got more than one internship, that bodes well, shows us that you've got some work experience. However, I will also just as easily say, take a break and breathe and just go have some fun, because you're going to get thrown right back into the gauntlet in July. So it is also completely okay to just go take a little graduation trip, have a little fun, behave, be safe. But yes. So up to you, up to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And it's funny you
And
should ask
also-
about what
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's funny you should ask about what you do in between, because our current class that's coming in July is neck deep with their pre-work, and they are busy bees working on their all of their prep work for the MBA. So we have no prerequisites. It's okay if you are coming to us with having never taken a business class, but that means that starting around mid to late May, we will give you about 5 to 6 weeks worth of online virtual assignments and readings and tutorials and things like that, just to get everybody caught up and on the same page.
Thank you. That is exactly what I was hoping to hear.
And that also, part of that is the career component. So that means before you even come over to Wayner, and before you even come over to the business school, you will have already had a virtual, some virtual meetings with your career advisor. You will have already done, gotten your resume, your LinkedIn, polished up and ready to be put in front of employers.
That sounds great. Thank y'all.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Sarah, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I already forgot. I have no idea. I'm just over here yelling at my dog because she's trying to get food out. So I apologize for looking distracted. There is a question, Katie. I would say one thing is it okay to go to 2 if it's really to expand and give depth?
Yes.
Are y'all okay with that?
Yes, absolutely. A 2-page resume is fine, especially if you're including class projects, student orgs, volunteer, but what we want is a lot of people think, well, I can't include my summer internship until I'm done with it. No. Put what you're currently doing. You know what? If you've already signed up, if you have an internship scheduled for the fall, put your future internship. If you've already been accepted, if you've already whatever it is, put that future thing. Put the future dates. You can put fall 2024, fall 2025. But if you've already been admitted to something or accepted into an internship, even if it's in the future, put that on there. Because we are evaluating you not on, we're projecting forward. We are evaluating you not on what you have done the day you apply. What will you have done by the time you begin the program? That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Good point.
Yeah.
Anything else, folks? Okay. Well, we enjoyed having you all here. Thanks for making it an entertaining evening for us as well.
Yes, and look out for an email from me tomorrow with the slides and a link to the recording, and then an email on Thursday dropping the application and the link to the Spark hire.
And Sadie says it is time to go. It says
Okay.
yes. Great having you all here this evening. Y'all all take care and just reach out if we can be of any help.
Thank you all.
Thank y'all so much. Have a great night.
You too.